Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Yamaha's V4 prototype hasn't set the stopwatch alight yet, but test rider Augusto Fernández says it already brings clear advantages over the aging inline-four M1, mainly in rideability and tire understanding. Sepang and Misano exposed how early the project still is, yet Fernández insists the V4's smoother character and improved throttle-to-tyre connection are meaningful building blocks as Yamaha prepares for a full transition. Hervé Poncharal, the longtime boss of Tech 3, has announced he will hand over the team at the end of the 2025 season. After almost half a century devoted to Grand Prix racing, Poncharal is preparing to pass the reins to Gunther Steiner and incoming team principal Richard Coleman. His message was equal parts gratitude, melancholy and practical: finish the year strong, make the handover smooth, and start a new chapter in life. Fabio Quartararo arrives at the end of 2025 bruised but composed. A world champion who admits his patience with Yamaha has run thin. Speaking from the Gold Coast, the Frenchman framed his latest contract as a last big gamble on the M1's recovery and made clear he won't wait forever for the bike to match his ambitions. Calm on the surface, Quartararo's message is urgent. He wants answers, and quickly. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Fernández's headline point is simple: the V4 feels smoother on power than the inline-four. That trait makes the bike easier to ride at the limit and reduces abrupt transitions that can upset chassis balance. It's smoother than the M1. Smoother doesn't equal faster today, but it often equals more consistent lap times and easier tire management, both crucial for race distance. Even with power deliberately turned down for safety and analysis, the prototype gives clearer feedback between throttle inputs and tire behavior. Fernández says that helps the team read tire drop more accurately and work on degradation strategies. He highlighted improved grip management and a better sense of how the tire degrades. That kind of clarity can shorten the development loop. More reliable feel means more actionable data for engineers. Yamaha is intentionally holding back engine output while the team studies the package. Fernández warned the current race outings are conservative. The V4 is being run calm, so each step can be evaluated safely. We're not exploiting its full potential, we're keeping it a bit calm to analyze each step. The implication: headline lap time gaps are not the whole story. The true question is what the V4 will deliver when Yamaha opens the taps in controlled phases. Fernández flagged the front end as the area that needs the most attention. Geometry, suspension response, and the way the front communicates load are where engineers must focus before the V4 can convert rideability into outright lap time. Front feel is the bridge between confidence and attack. Get it right and the smoother V4 delivery could turn into consistent race pace. Beyond lap times, Fernández emphasized the V4's emotional side. It's enjoyable to ride. That positive rider feeling helps extract performance during long stints in the development cycle. And it's also wonderful to ride. A bike that inspires confidence is easier to push, and easier for a factory to tune toward multiple rider styles. Fabio Quartararo publicly expressed frustration with early V4 outings. Fernández understands that impatience. Top riders want to win now, but asks for patience as the concept is refined. Yamaha is targeting Valencia for another V4 appearance before moving development fully away from the inline M1. I understand Fabio, because he's someone who would like to win tomorrow. But we'll still need a little patience. I'm sure a good bike will emerge. The message is strategic: short-term pain for potential long-term gain. If the V4's advantages can be translated into power and setup windows, Yamaha will have justified the gamble. The V4's strengths are already tangible: smoother delivery, clearer throttle-to-tyre feel, and better tire drop insight. Its weaknesses, front-end behavior and a conservative power map, are understood and fixable with development time and parts. Valencia and the post-season program will be decisive. If Yamaha can retain the V4's rideability while finding the missing performance, the inline-four's replacement could be more than an experiment. It could be the reset the brand needs. Tech 3 will change ownership for 2026, with Gunther Steiner set to take over and Richard Coleman joining as team principal. Poncharal framed the move as a planned handover. He wants to close his tenure by helping the transition succeed and enjoying the final races. I want to finish the 2025 season with the best possible results. After that, I will pass the torch to Mr. Steiner and his investors. Let's hope the handover goes smoothly. It's both an operational handover and an emotional farewell. Poncharal is clear-eyed about continuity but candid about the cost of leaving something he built. Poncharal stressed that the commercial side is secure. KTM has a 5-year contract with Dorna, and contracts are already in place with the factory riders and many staff. That should limit disruption for 2026, though Poncharal warned 2027 will see bigger changes under Liberty Media's new direction. The message to sponsors, riders and employees is stability now, evolution later, a planned transition rather than a sudden break. The goodbye is personal. Poncharal admitted the emotion of leaving. The team is a family, populated by long-serving employees whose efforts he praised. He allowed himself to be moved, tears included, while reflecting on a career devoted to racing. As I say these words, my eyes fill with tears. Grand Prix racing has been my life for almost half a century. That human element is central. Behind the contracts and press conferences is a man closing a life-defining chapter. Poncharal is in regular contact with Steiner and says the incoming leadership team, Steiner and Coleman, have already begun to embed themselves, attending recent GPs. Coleman will be present for the last 2 Grand Prix and the Valencia tests, while Steiner is juggling commitments but may attend Valencia. The presence of the new leadership at the tail end of the season underlines a managed, hands-on transition. Poncharal thanked decades of collaborators and partners, engineers, mechanics, commercial partners and journalists. He singled out longtime colleagues and the wider paddock relationships across manufacturers, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, KTM, Red Bull, as part of Tech 3's story. He praised the employees and the many people he's worked with, acknowledging their incredible contributions over the years. It's a roll call of relationships that made Tech 3 more than a racing team, a community. Poncharal admitted he's not sure exactly what the future holds, but is optimistic. He's not young, but eager to enjoy life and pursue new ideas. He also pledged support for Steiner and Coleman where wanted. The tone is farewell, not exit, and offer to help makes this a graceful passing of responsibility. I'm eager to start my new life. I promised Gunther Steiner and Richard Coleman that I would support them as best I can in the future, if they so wish. Retirement, in Ponchara's terms, looks like a different rhythm of engagement, less day-to-day intensity, more reflection and new projects. Hervé Poncharal's goodbye is both a personal milestone and a structural change for MotoGP. One of the paddock's most recognizable figures is stepping back, but he is doing so thoughtfully, with continuity secured and a willingness to help the next generation. The final 2 races of 2025 will be as much a celebration of his career as they are a test of the handover, and if Poncharal's parting wish is granted, Tech 3 will enter its next era with respect for the past and readiness for the future. Walking barefoot on Smith's Beach, Quartararo projects serenity, but his words are sharp. The week away from the paddock has helped him process frustration accumulated over seasons riding a bike that hasn't met expectations. He said he trusted Yamaha's promised evolution when he re-signed, but improvements haven't arrived. I trusted what I saw at the time, but it hasn't gone as I expected. The image of a relaxed rider belies a deadline. Quartararo wants progress fast, or he'll reassess his future. Quartararo admits his deal through 2026 was made more from hope than technical conviction, a final vote of confidence in Yamaha's project. Now, with little visible progress, he's running out of time to fulfill personal goals. What Yamaha hasn't achieved in years, I hope they can achieve in a few months. I don't have much time to fulfill my dreams. That is not an idle threat, it's a boundary. The next development steps will shape whether Quartararo stays or looks elsewhere. Quartararo says the last 3 years have made him a stronger rider in person. He believes he's technically and mentally better than when he won the title in 2021, and that frustrates him further. He feels capable of more, but the bike limits what he can do. I know I'm much better than when I won the title. These 3 years have made me stronger. I've learned to fight without having the right bike. Self-belief remains high. The question is whether the M1 can be brought into alignment with that belief. Quartararo lays out the usual suspects: engine deficit, grip shortfalls, and other factors beyond immediate rider control, as the areas where Yamaha needs to improve. He's honest about the limits of influence a rider has over those issues. I know where I'm losing out. It could be the engine, grip, or other things that are out of my control. Technical fixes are now the only convincing answer. Words alone won't keep a top rider committed. Quartararo says he isn't actively negotiating yet, but he's watching the market closely. He won't be asleep while others sign deals. The MotoGP transfer window and the looming 2027 technical reset make timing critical. At the moment, I'm not talking to anyone, but I'm reflecting. I don't want to be asleep while others are making moves. That posture puts pressure on Yamaha. Delivered improvements must be visible, and soon. Away from the paddock, Quartararo appears calmer and more centered. He speaks about family, the value of a small circle of trust, and the desire to win again before time runs out. The sunset on Smith's Beach becomes a quiet image of a champion weighing options. Starting my own family is in my plans. When the time comes, it will. Professionally restless, personally grounded, Quartararo is ready to move if Yamaha cannot match his timeline. Fabio Quartararo's Gold Coast reflection is a clear signal to Yamaha and the paddock. Patience has limits. He believes he's a better rider now than at his championship peak, but his willingness to wait for a bike that delivers is not infinite. The next few months will tell whether Yamaha can convert trust into tangible progress, or whether Quartararo's last opportunity turns into a parting of ways. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!